Welcome back to Christy's Science Salon. So now that summer's over, a lot of my followers have been complaining about having brittle, cold weather hair. They're like, but Christy, I really want to go to OctoberFest this year and my hair needs to be silky. Deep breaths, ladies. Because as you probably know, there is such a thing called deep conditioning treatment. Now, during this time of year, I know it feels like all the plants have just stopped the transpiration process, which of course is the process of water moving through the plant and then evaporating from its aerial parts, such as leaves, stems, and flowers. But really, transpiration is still occurring all around you. You know, just not quite as much as during these sultry summer months. Basically, the transpiration process begins when water is passively transported into a plant's roots and then moves into its xylem, and then the forces of cohesion and adhesion cause the water to form a column there. Then water then moves from the xylem into the mesophyll cells, and finally it evaporates from their surface and exits the plant through the stomata. It's kind of like a plant's version of sweating. The important thing to remember about deep conditioning is to really let it sink in, because people at OctoberFest love moisturized hair. And speaking of hydration, transpiration not only allows the intake of carbon dioxide through the air, but it also cools the plant and causes nutrients and water to flow throughout, thereby feeding and hydrating it. How cool is that? Definitely bring this up to the cute German guy you're talking to. Because the Europeans literally aren't interested in a woman who can't carry a conversation about plants. Ooh, or who can't do a German accent. Be like, don't you just love fall, but hate how transpiration rates decrease when the temperature drops since the cold weather signals a plant's guard cells to close their stomatas? It'll make them appreciate how hydrated your hair looks even more. Okay, and time to rinse. What you missed was me rinsing out the conditioner and then drying my hair, which you may have been able to infer on your own. I know, it looks amazing, right? Go ahead, feel it, toss it around a little. Okay, ladies, please be safe at OctoberFest. I know from your Instagram stories that some of you can get a little rowdy after a few pints. I am looking at you, Brittany117. Ooh, and don't forget to subscribe. Dankeschön.
We can convert sunlight into electricity with a couple of thin silicon wafers in a sandwich. A very thin one. For decades, to get a thin piece of pure silicon, we had to saw it off a thick piece of pure silicon. The saw turns a lot of that silicon into dust. This process is fine for making integrated circuit chips for computers or smartphones because the amount of silicon used is so small.
Whether or not the water column is mixed can affect organisms living in the environment. Like, there's no mixing, oxygen is depleted, and then the organisms at the bottom will just die. And Shoshana was like, I hate when organisms die from oxygen depletion. And I was like, I know, right?